everybody, and welcome back to another week of Just Gay Stuff podcast. My name is Jess.
And I'm Lauren.
This week, we are bringing you an interview with a very talented musician that is Majelen, and she is joining us with her wife, Courtney, to share her journey through music, love, travel, and producing herself as a musician. So hello. Majelen and Courtney.
Hello. How you going?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Oh, fabulous. Just sitting here in the bus. Courtney was just cooking some ramen for dinner.
Oh,
I love ramen.
Yeah, we've interrupted your dinner making for this episode.
So rude.
I know, but we're super grateful.
Oh, thanks for having us on.
Of course.
Always a pleasure. We love having guests, and we find that these are one of our favourite episodes.
We do. I know just off air before we started, you said Majelen is our first musician that we're interviewing.
You're the first musician we've interviewed.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah. Honour.
Awesome.
All right. So let's start off by talking about your music. We first saw you play at Loud Proud Logan, which was a fantastic day put on by Ali and Jimmy.
Yes.
So shout out to those.
Shout out to them.
Those wonderful people. And it showcased so many talented artists. But can you describe your music style for everyone who hasn't ever heard of you before?
Yes. Well, it's tricky. It's kind of like acoustic doof. So it's like acoustic guitar. I play drums in the guitar. So it's kind of like pop rock mixed with, some people call it Americana, but there's jazz.
Oh, yeah.
And then, lots of jazz influence, but pretty poppy.
Yeah.
She came up with a unique style. So I think we always put at the head of her bio, Annie DeFranco meets Ed Sheeran, because she uses the loop pedals.
Yeah.
But my newest stuff is more poppy Ed Sheeran-y type stuff, which is actually what I wanted to do. But I needed the technology to enable me to do it with my guitar. So if I've got that, I can kind of do more of what I actually wanted, which is cool.
Yeah. And for the music nerds listening, your guitar has like 3 outputs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you actually have an output for the doof bit.
Yep.
That's really cool.
What's a doof bit?
Like the drum part.
Oh.
Yeah. So as a musician, I've never seen
I'm the
that
non-musician
before. So that was awesome to see. And especially watching you perform, it was very talented. Move quickly with your hands. Like, let's say no more. And it was really cool.
Of course you had to say that on a LGBT
It'll come to the gutter eventually. I wanted to ask you, did you live loop before Ed Sheeran, or did he inspire you?
I did loop before I knew about Ed Sheeran. I've still got my RC30 in the cupboard here. And I did that mostly at gigs because I used to play a lot of cover gigs. And I get bored of singing, and I just get bored of being there sometimes. So
I feel you totally.
One gig, my record is, Courtney was at it, I played 3 songs in one 45-minute set because I just, with my little RC30, I'd like create this thing and I'd turn it into this long thing, and I'd build it, then I'd go out of that, and then I'd create this other thing, and then eventually I'd play a song, and then I'd do this other journey, and then it'd just take forever, and then I'd be like, oh, look at that, okay, that was 20 minutes gone, all right, song 2.
I love that.
That's how I survived cover gigs.
It was like 23 minutes of Matt Corby brother.
Yeah, that's right.
That's okay. I once did Wagon Wheel for 12 minutes.
Oh,
wow.
Wagon Wheel.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's the same chords the whole way through. It's easy. Yeah. For any people who aren't music nerds listening, an RC30 is a loop pedal. It came in the RC3, the RC30, and then the RC300. I still have the 300 sitting in my cupboard essentially untouched.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm learning things that I didn't even know.
I bought it in hopes to like be good enough to use it one day, and I've never used it at a real gig. I just never had the confidence.
You just got to stuff up a bunch of times, and then you were like, oh, whatever.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I like the RC30 because it's literally got 2 buttons. There's the go button and the stop button. And like half the time I hit the wrong button, and it's like 50% chance I'll get it right. But I'm not looking, and I just stop it when it's meant to be starting, and I just turn it into a joke.
Look, 50%'s good odds, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that you always wanted to be a musician, or was that just a random dream that happened?
Was that journey thrust upon you somewhere?
I think as soon as I found a guitar in the garden shed.
How old were you?
13.
Okay.
From that point on, like, I always have loved music, and I was a very, very, very quiet kid who didn't talk much. So music was always my safe place. And then I found a guitar and I was like, I have to do this forever, because if I don't do this, I don't know what I'll do.
Yeah.
Why would I do anything else? And then I just have been figuring out how to do that ever since.
Literally has to play the guitar every single day, at least do scales. And if she doesn't, it's like a meltdown, Nelly.
My life is over.
So much so that I had to actually put it into our wedding vows and be like,
Yep.
I know your other lover will always be the guitar.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's sweet.
cute.
It's just my brain.
Yeah.
So what are some artists that have inspired your style? I know we spoke a little bit about Ed Sheeran.
Well, we spoke about what you sound like or what you think you sound like, but we know that artists you love can differ from what your music actually sounds like.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of guitar players like Tommy Emmanuel, and Robin Ford is a really awesome guitar player too. But then I grew up listening to a lot of classical music. So, and a lot of jazz when I went to uni. So I went through periods of like lots of classical stuff, lots of instrumental, and then listening to how because I don't really hear lyrics. And I don't need lyrics, because I grew up listening to so much classical music. There was a story within the melody and within how all of the instruments interacted with each other and stuff. So I think that was a big part of it. And then I eventually went to uni and studied jazz. And then there was like progressing through the musical eras of blues, and then the different stages of jazz, and then into like soul and R&B and funk. And then I played in all sorts of bands, from like metal to pop,
Wow.
rock, reggae. I've played everything. So I guess I've listened to and studied all sorts of genres of music. But Mariah Carey is actually a huge influence. I love her early stuff. And then
Do you like Green Day? And
yeah.
Incubus?
And then Red Hot Chili Peppers in high school. They were super cool. And John Butler. And then I'm currently in Ariana Grande phase.
John Mayer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, John Mayer can make a guitar cry. It's amazing.
Yeah, he's awesome. But I don't stick to a genre or anything. It's just like I hear something, like I love different vocalists for the tone of their voice and how they jump around and do inflections and all that sort of stuff. And then I don't know, it's very random. I like kind of everything, except I don't really like screamo.
Yeah.
Neither.
Yeah. There's different levels of screamo though.
Yeah, it's all pretty random. I like all the things.
It's good to not have like a narrow mind musically. I think if you cut yourself off from possibility, it also cuts you off creatively.
Yeah, I think so too. And there's always something to learn from everyone.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And the fact that you essentially created your own genre anyways.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, when we saw you play live, you said that a lot of your songs are inspired by your love for Courtney and your journey through life together. Is there anything else that inspires you to write?
I think traveling is the big one, other than Courtney, because we've both spent a lot of time backpacking, and a lot of the album that's coming out now most of it's about Courtney, but there's a few songs also also referring back to like times of backpacking and how small the world actually is if you're out in it. Like it doesn't feel like we're all separate and big and it's a big scary place. It actually is just like, oh yeah, I'm in Africa today, and then next week I'll be in England, and then next week I'll be in Nepal, and then next week I'll be in America. And it's just like the world is actually incredible, and it's a tiny little speck in the universe, and it's wonderful. And I try to share that in my songs because I think that is important to be said sometimes, and how we're all actually just the same.
That's important because I think there's so much division culturally, religiously, sexually, all of that stuff, that really we are all on the world together. And as you said, we're not as far apart as a lot of people like to think.
Yeah.
And that saying of small world, like it's so true. I was in Europe recently and like 3 other people I knew were in Europe at the same time. You're just like, wow, I could have met up with you for a beer and I never see you at home. Like, what the fuck?
We're friends on the other side of the planet.
Yeah. Just never at home because we never have time to see each other.
Yeah.
We know that every creator's process is different. What's your process like with writing a song?
It changes every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have a process. Normally, it sort of starts with a guitar line, I suppose, and then I build lyrics
Like a
around
riff?
that, or like a guitar riff of some sort. But sometimes I'll have just this line because I've had something happen, or I've been thinking about something and I just want to talk about that. So then I start with the lyric first, and then I try to picture the emotion and try to get across whatever the emotion is that I'm feeling. That's kind of the basis of the whole writing thing.
Yeah.
I write some bits from the guitar part, and then I write some lyrics, and then I change this, and then it's a bit all over the shop.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite song of your own that you've written though? Like one that you just think, oh, I can't believe I wrote that song. Can't believe it came from me.
I think so. It's not out yet, but I'm going to start recording it soon. It's called Turn on the Light, and it's actually inspired by Albus Dumbledore.
Love
that's
it.
Awesome.
Hell yes.
Lauren's a mad Harry Potter fan.
We both love Harry Potter.
So good.
Well, and also partly inspired by Lindsay Sterling. Do you know who she is?
No.
Oh.
She's amazing.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
She's a violin player and dancer. Like, she literally dances while playing.
Oh, wow.
And she's off the chain cool.
And she doesn't sing, and she went on like America's Got Talent, and Simon Cowell was like, oh, this is ridiculous. You'll never be anything because she doesn't sing. But she's had Amy Lee from Evanescence sing on her stuff.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure she won a Grammy, didn't she, for like the
Probably.
Wow.
Pelotonix?
Pentatonics.
Pentatonics.
I don't know. She's worked with so many people now.
That's cool.
Phenomenal. And it's dance music. And she created her own outfits, like anime outfits.
I think I know who you're talking about. I think she has a TikTok account too, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
she
You
would-
have to
Yeah.
be across all that stuff, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I do actually know who you're talking about.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
So I was listening to an interview that she did one time, and it's been an interesting 2 years for us because of stuff that's happened to us. And you know, when you just go through a hard time, sometimes it just starts to feel real heavy and hard. You're just dragging a pile of bricks behind you, and it's like, for goodness sake, I just need to stop hitting my head against a brick wall and figure this out somehow. But it's like, how do you do that? And it just feels like dark, just exhausting. But we've both been working our butts off, and it's a long story. But I was listening to this podcast, and we started to come out the other side of that and have some cool things happen. And I was listening to Lindsay talk about how she has been through mental health problems and that stuff. And she mentioned the quote by Albus Dumbledore where he's like, the light can be found even in the darkest of times if one just remembers to turn on the light. And I was like, I love that quote. Like, it reminded me of when I was watching Harry Potter. That was always my favorite bit.
Yeah.
All the movies, I loved that line. And so because of what we were going through, she sparked my memory of that one line. I ended up writing this song, and it's just about,
That's so cool.
it's Courtney's favorite too.
Yeah.
That's
Yay.
really cool.
I was trying to channel like Lindsay's violin playing for the main guitar line and for how it all fits together and stuff, and a little bit of Amy Lee vocals, and just trying to be like, it's okay. Even if things are pretty shit, you just turn on the light. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I get that sort of thing. And yeah, it's kind of like an encouraging thing that I wrote for myself.
That's a really beautiful one.
That's my favorite. Sorry, that was a long answer.
No,
That
that's
was
good.
great.
It's good. We love the storytelling. That's what we're about.
Oh, cool.
I want to jump back to the fact that you said she went on America's Got Talent and Simon Cowell was like, And I think about when Fletcher was on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
And Simon Cowell was like, if I saw you tomorrow, I wouldn't even remember who you are. And now she's like, so if
Look at her now.
if any other creators are listening, don't listen to those people who are going to just, beat you
Dim
down.
your light.
All creativity is subjective, and you're just got to get in front of the right people and keep doing what you do. So
Yeah.
that's that.
I agree.
Yeah.
With the emphasis on just keep doing what you do.
Yeah. Well, persistence is everything, I think. And we only get better by continuously doing that craft.
Definitely. You kind of have to be just stubbornly, stupidly like, I don't give a shit. I'm doing it anyway.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think has been your greatest musical achievement so far?
Why'd you laugh?
Oh,
What's going on?
it's just we're having an interesting week.
Oh, okay.
This week's suit a fun one. Well, greatest achievement. Okay, actually, I'm going to take it from a slightly different perspective because I think I've done some cool things. I think the biggest thing is Courtney and I have gotten to the point where we've lined up a lot of really awesome stuff for next year, and we're going to be in multiple countries performing and touring and playing festivals. And I've got to the point where like,
People you used to look up to.
yeah, people that I used to look up to who would never respond to my messages are now wanting me to be involved in their shows. And now they're contacting me and being like, oh, hey, yeah, remember me? And I'm like, yes.
I love that.
That's really cool.
It is cool, but it's more not to try to feel like I'm better than anyone else, because I'm absolutely not. But it's just Courtney and I have just worked so hard, and we're actually starting to see really cool results coming in a lot of ways. And it's just all suddenly started to snowball, and we've gotten to the point where it's like, oh, holy shit, we got momentum here. Like, next year's going to be huge. And I don't even know actually when it started, but it was just, we've just been working so hard. And I'm actually just really proud of us, because I think we're a cool team, and I don't know what really tipped it over, but something has.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful feeling when you can start to reap what you've sowed.
That's literally what I was thinking. You're reaping the rewards.
Yeah.
Sowed,
you spend all this time planting all these little seeds, and then finally the flowers start blooming and you can make bouquets. I don't know. I was going somewhere with the metaphor.
Where are we going with this analogy?
But it's such a good feeling when you can start to see all that work that you've put in start delivering for you. And yeah, I'm excited for you. I hope that it's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So we already had some momentum coming in, but like one of our friends went to the Gympie muster this year, and she came home and she was like, she listened to a chat by Felicity
Urquhart?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing a chat with all the big stars that were at the Gympie muster, and they all said, comes a point, you know, what's his name with the cap? Casey Barnes.
Casey, yeah.
So,
yep.
example, he said, you know, he was working in the mines and he was trying to do his music career and pursue that. And then it came to a point where he was like getting more and more gigs, and he had to go, okay, well, I have to choose between security at the mines and putting his whole family in financial ruin.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to make a choice at one point and be like, I need to go all in. And it was at that point that he was like, I'm going all in, that all the things started coming his way. And I think we're kind of at that point, and it's really exciting.
I do think that's really cool. I say to Jess often, you know, like you said, when we go all into those things, the universe often provides us with what we are needing and wanting.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially when you're constantly manifesting those kinds of things, I feel like the universe can definitely deliver for you.
I think so too. And that's what a bunch of our friends, even just this weekend, a bunch of people have been like, oh my God, you manifested this. And we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's true. It works.
It does.
It works.
Yeah.
And you have to believe it works. Otherwise, what can you believe in? You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in the universe, and we all have a path, and we're on the right path. And, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
There's something good waiting at the end of it, or along the journey, really, because you don't want to wait till the end.
That'll be a long time.
Yeah.
The journey's often the best part, really.
Totally. Sometimes we have to sit back and remember that, because when we get to that destination, we go, oh, what now?
Yeah.
The journey was the fun part.
Yeah. This is a perfect segue since I mentioned the word journey.
It is, yeah.
All right, we're going to rewind a little bit, because we rewind with all our guests, and just tell us a little bit about your self-discovery journeys and your coming out stories.
So before you got married, all cute like...
Yeah.
Where did the queer journey start for both of you? Tell us everything.
Okay. Well,
I lived under a rock.
I lived under a rock. Everyone keeps telling me this all the time.
I also lived under a rock, don't worry.
Oh, good.
You're not alone.
Excellent. Like, yeah, I didn't know gay people existed until I went to uni.
You were Amish before.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Amish chick living in Logan, listening to classical music.
Yeah.
Love it.
Nice.
The school skirts all the way down to the ankles.
Nice. Yeah. Sexy.
Oh, mine wasn't quite that long. It was just below the knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
had to be below the knee. Yeah.
Mine was also below the knee.
I think they're supposed to be below the knee.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I was definitely gay though, because like I remember very vividly, I think it was like grade 3 or grade 4. All the girls were sitting at my table, because I went to we all shared a big table, and we were all like doing some drawing or whatever. And all the girls were like crushing on this guy, Peppy, who was in the soccer team. And I was like, who gives a shit about Peppy? Have you seen Jo Tanner?
Yeah.
She's pretty. But I just thought I just really wanted to be her like best friend, because I just thought that's all there was. And then I got to uni, and this girl kissed me one time, and I was like, wow, that's nice. And she's like, yeah, I'm bi. And I'm like, what's that?
You're like you speak 2 languages?
Yeah. Yeah. Go you. You must have studied hard for that. just like, because I had kissed boys, but it was just like, why would you want to do that? I didn't get it. And then this chick, I was like, oh, I understand.
Yeah.
It's supposed to feel good. Oh, okay. And then I was like, because of my upbringing and just life and society expectations and stuff, I did not want to be gay at all. And I tried to hide it for then a very long time until a girl that I loved died. And my parents saw how much that broke me. And then they didn't care. They just wanted me to be happy. That was when I was like 24. Yeah. And from then on, they didn't care. So I was like, well, guess I'm openly gay now.
Yeah.
I think I was officially gay and everyone knew about it when I was like 24, 25-ish. Once I finally got over that situation, I had my first actual girlfriend that people knew about. I had a girlfriend when I was 21, but no one knew. Well, actually, someone found out. And then I ended up getting kicked out of church and it was really like controversial. There was this girl in the church that I went to who was the youth leader. And she was 4 years older than me. So she was up there in the church or something. Yeah, we ended up dating for 9 months. But no one knew. And then one person found out and it was like, right, you're both kicked out. And it was bad.
That is controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had a few controversial moments with different religions.
Spicy.
But yeah, that was me. How about you, darling?
Spill the beans, Courtney.
Oh, I don't know. Mine, I was really lucky. I had a really like cool, supportive brother that was like, only 2 years older than me. And I guess I would like go out and kiss all my girlfriends dancing at clubs and stuff and never really wanted to kiss any of the guys or anything like that. And then I met this girl that lived upstairs from me. She came over because she had to borrow something and I was like, oh my God, this woman that lives upstairs. And I was infatuated. And I told my friends about it and they were like, she's straight, blah, 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 blah. And turned out she wasn't straight. And then
You're like, suckers, she's not.
Literally within 24 hours, I'd made out with her and I was like, she's not straight. And they're like, what the fuck? And then she worked in a bar or something and she would come over after work and like sleep over. And I think one morning I woke up and I was like, I went out to my mum and I was like, that girl that comes over late at night and sleeps over, she's actually my girlfriend. And my mum was like mortified. And it actually was until I met Helen, my mum was still like, she wasn't secretly hoping. She was hoping that I was still going to be straight. And that like eventually at one point, like, if she kept introducing to me to all these men that like, maybe one day I would like end up.
I think when we first met, she introduced me to a few people as, oh, this is Courtney's friend, just a couple of times. And I was okay.
Classic.
But it was really funny because I think like I had the first girlfriend that I told her about. She hated her. I think she bought me a gift and my mum instantly was like, fucking hate it. Like right in front of her. Okay. And then I had another girl come over for Christmas and we were together for like 3.5 years. And my mum, I don't think actually wanted her there. And she was like making out that my grandmother was having the problem. And my brother just was like straight in her face. He was like, get over it. She's gay, like blah, blah, blah. And he was just a really good advocate because he was a bit of a ladies' man. So he was like, why not be for the girls?
Yeah. He was like, I get it. I like girls too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
That's so sweet.
It's good that you had someone supportive in your corner at the same time.
Especially a sibling, sometimes it can go either way. You can be like super supported or shoved out. It's weird.
Yeah, he was a really good dude.
That's awesome. What did representation look like for you both growing up? Did you have someone on TV that was like gay representing that you were like, oh, damn?
Well, I definitely didn't. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with, well, I don't think she was gay, but remember Xena, the...
Yes.
Oh, yes. I found out about her later.
That was
Me too.
That was pure queer bait, though.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about this too.
Because was there an episode where her and Gabrielle actually kissed, or was that just in like a dream?
There was one.
There was.
Yeah.
You were like, I know I saw it.
I know it. Well, okay, none for Majelen and Xena for Courtney.
Yeah. Anna Jolie and Kate Beckinsale. I had a really big crush on brunettes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was younger.
Kate Beckinsale in Underworld for sure. I had a thing for vampires, but it got ruined got ruined when Twilight came out for me. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I like Kristen Stewart, but the Twilight Kristen Stewart was like bottom of the barrel for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the first two and I stopped there.
I mean, it did get better when she actually turned into a vampire. I think that's the part where I was like, okay, I can see this going somewhere. And
I
then
don't
it
think
ended
I've
anyway.
even watched past the first one.
Oh, well, yeah, don't bother now.
I
There's better things out there now.
Clearly. Not all sparkly vampires.
No, let's rid the world of that.
I recently had Majelen watch some L Word.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
original?
Yeah,
Yeah, we started
Yeah.
episode 1.
episode 1.
It's
And,
so
like,
dramatic.
it's great because, like, you know, so many of our friends that watch it use all these quotes, and
Oh, and I
Magellan's
don't have a
like,
clue. Every
yeah.
quote's like,
yeah, but she uses them, and yeah, and then eventually, like, so now we're watching the L Word, and she's like, oh, okay, now I get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. It's the OG, absolutely. It was like the
It's like
gateway.
a rite of passage.
It is, because that was, especially back in 2005, 2006, it was like the only pure lesbian representation on TV that wasn't a one episode thing and then your whole world fell apart. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You finally like literally saw women loving women being happy and sad, but you just saw
Living
them
their
living
lives,
life. It was
yeah.
great. And it was the
Yeah.
only thing. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I missed out on that.
Nah, you're doing it
Nah,
now. You're
yeah.
doing it
I'm
now.
catching up.
Never too late.
It's never too late. Yeah.
How did you two meet?
Online, which I never ever thought I would do. But I felt randomly, I was just like, I'm joining Bumble today and I'm moving to the Gold Coast because I'm going to meet a girl there in that way. And
You manifested.
yeah, and it happened like a few weeks later. So yeah, maybe I am magical or something. But yeah, we met on Bumble and I ask a lot of questions. And I was very intrigued. And Courtney had something on about her brother on her profile.
Oh, it was,
Like
like,
the
like
most-
who's the most influential person
Yeah.
in your life or something like that.
And I was like, why did you pick your brother? And then blah, 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 blah. And then Courtney's like, all right, I'm sick of messaging. Can we just video call? So then we video called the next day.
For like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I had just moved back from New Zealand. So I was at my parents' place because I'd just flown in back to Brizzy and I hadn't found a place on the Gold Coast to live yet. I was fully like, as soon as I was flying in from the airport, into the airport, I was like, I'm living at the Gold Coast. I'm going to live right down there. But I hadn't found a place. So I ended up like, we went on our first date 2 days later. And then Courtney.
She crashed my entire weekend.
I did. I just moved in.
I had plans.
Yeah. I was like, that's fine. Keep your plans, but I'll be there. Because I was like, as soon as I met Courtney, I knew I was going to marry her.
Wow.
Aww.
So I was like, well, what's the point in like waiting around? I'm just going to move in. So get used to it.
Yeah.
And I'm just so stubborn. She couldn't get rid of me. But because I was at my parents' place, Courtney went back to work and mum found out. Mum and dad met her a few days later, like the following week, because we went on a date up in Brisbane. And Courtney came around to meet him. And then Courtney was doing night shift as a nurse in Brizzy, but living on the Gold Coast still. So because
When
I
COVID
was,
started.
yeah, when COVID started, Courtney went back to nursing. So mum found out and mum was like, well, because I grew up in Logan and mum and dad were still living in Logan at that point. So mum was like, well, she can't drive all the way from Palm Beach to the north side of Brisbane to do night shift. She has to move in here. And I'm like, I met her like last week. She might actually be blacker. I don't know. But like, whatever. But mum was adamant. She had to move in. So then Courtney ended up sleeping in my sister's old bedroom.
Which
and,
had a frozen bed sheet.
yeah, and I still had frozen.
It was
on
really
bed.
weird. Like, I was like,
Love
I
it.
didn't actually drive home, but I felt so.
Mum made
Like,
her stay.
I felt so like inclined. I couldn't say no.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
okay. So I'd be like, I'd rock up and be like, hi.
Yeah. And then it was really funny because I'd walk out to say bye to Courtney when she was going to work and mum would yell out the window like, honey, let her go to work already. Like, shut up, mum. Yeah, it was pretty cute. My parents went from being like,
or she'd be like, I'm putting my earbuds in tonight.
Just in case you need some encouragement, paper thin walls and everything.
yeah.
And then after a few weeks, they were like, we're moving to Mackay. We'll leave you with the house. We don't know if we'll ever be back.
Like, okay. Bye.
Yeah. It was a really interesting time.
And now you're still on your first date now in true lesbian fashion.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We've spent one night apart in nearly 5 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You kind of answered my next question in that, because I was going to ask you, did you get married before or after the legalization? But you kind of answered that. So did you face any hurdles in the process of getting hitched?
I think there's still a fair few people, like there's still a fair few celebrants and stuff like that don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's religion based, so I don't hold any grudgements towards that. But I don't think so. I think since the yes vote went through and all of the legislation then followed to actually, you know, legalize things and legalize adoption and stuff like that, because that didn't come through until like later on as well. And it was pretty straightforward. We didn't have a church wedding or anything like that.
No, we got married in a paddock with some horses.
Love it.
Cute.
I've seen your photos on your Instagram. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We just found a celebrant who was okay with it.
Yeah, we had like all of our friends sort of decided to chip in parts, so you know we didn't have any problems with the wedding cake or anything like that.
Everyone was.
It was like a
So lovely.
3-day festival camp out.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
awesome.
it was cool.
We had fire twirlers and
We had whip
Holy shit.
horse rides.
pony rides for kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of our friends came and she had her stilts in the car, just randomly.
So she was
And then-
like dressed up as like a lollipop stilt lady and doing all the it was amazing. We had like a circus wedding.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
so cool.
That's awesome. That's so lovely to hear.
yeah.
So what's coming up for you both next?
Well, we got a few things. Courtney and I were talking about it before. I got 4 things that I'm supposed to remember. So the first one is I'm doing an Australian tour next year starting on the 1st of March. And we're going from the Gold Coast down to Melbourne and Adelaide and then back up again. And then I've got more Aussie dates later in the year. But after I go to the UK and Europe, then we're coming back to Australia and doing some more stuff here. So that's the first one. Tickets are on sale now.
Yay.
Yay.
We'll put the ticket link in the bio, everybody.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
The second one is I have a signature Majelen cold clock guitar that's coming out and is available now to order. So if you want a guitar with the 2 pickup thingos plus the extra doofy thing, you can buy it off me.
That's really cool.
When I asked you about achievement, that's an achievement.
It is.
To have your own signature Cole Clark coming out. That's insane.
Thank you. I'm very honoured, actually, because
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
it's very, very cool.
That's a dream. Come on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Majelen gets hers on the 1st of December.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's a good Christmas present to yourself.
Can I say that is some real Ed Sheeran shit right there? Like your own guitar. Like, okay, I'm super jealous.
I was
That's
like,
amazing.
This is her being really
I'm-
jealous right
No,
now.
I am jealous. I am proud of you as an artist, and I'm in awe. That's amazing.
Oh, thank you. So there's that.
That's 2.
That's number 2. And then the third one is, so I recorded an album at Abbey Road Studios in London last year.
Amazing.
Which is pretty cool too. And then I mixed and mastered it here in the bus. And it's available now as a vinyl. So it's my first ever vinyl that I've put out. And it's up pre-order at the moment. So I can send you the link for that too if you like. And
Yes, we'll definitely
please.
we'll put all of your links in, because any listener that wants to jump on the Magellan train needs to, and we will show them the way.
amazing. Follow the yellow brick road.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one's, I'm pretty stoked with it. And it's all about mine and Courtney's journey. So yeah. And then fabulous Courtney is starting a t-shirt brand called Her and Her. I'm modeling one today. So if you like lesbian innuendos, can I show you?
Yeah,
You can.
totally.
So this is one little tiny design.
So for those who aren't watching the video, describe what you're seeing, Jess.
For everyone not watching, it says, does it say the original clam? Best enjoyed eaten out. And it's a clam with like a vagina on it. It's amazing. I love it.
And then that's the
Main logo. Her.
And the
That's
label,
cool.
Her and Her on the back.
yeah, that's the main
Love
logo.
it.
So Courtney's got a bunch of designs. They're all pretty funny. They're all like, my grandma wouldn't really know, but
Maybe.
maybe she would. I don't know.
But she'd wear one anyway. It doesn't matter.
Grandma is.
Yeah.
My reasoning was, before I met Majelen, I was single and I don't really go to gay bars or anything. I didn't really go to gay bars. And I am attracted to, I guess, the lipstick lesbian sort of one. So you can't really tell whether they're gay or they're not gay. So I was like, instead of wearing a rainbow flag, is there something that I could wear that is like, I know. So I had this idea 5.5 years ago to create a lesbian innuendo.
I've been nagging her
Brand.
for a long time.
That's cool.
So I've been drawing a lot, and yeah, this is the first prototype.
Yeah, we got a few. I'm excited.
Amazing.
Love
And
it.
you're launching in 2025, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So then when that store launches, you need to tag us so we can push the shit out of it.
Oh, we will
Yeah.
definitely
And
do
then
That'd be awesome.
Lauren and I also need to buy a shirt because I want to wear the shit out of it.
You guys weren't lying about being busy.
that. Yeah.
Well, before we go, we want to end on a fun little music question.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. If you could write a song with any artist, alive or dead, who would it be? That's a hard question, I know.
That is a hard one. I'm going to say Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah. Because he's funky as. I know he's, questionable, but musically, freaking genius.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave the problematic things to the side because, I mean, he was acquitted.
Yeah. What about you?
Me?
Yeah, you could write a song.
Yeah, anyone can write a song.
Yeah, you could take all mine.
Have you heard some of the stuff that's on the radio? Anyone can write a song.
That's true.
So Helen's kind of like wrecked the whole music scene for me, really, because like I now know how hard it is to be a musician. That I'm like, I meet musicians and they're just like normal people. Like, we went and watched Fletcher, and I was like, yeah, she's like, killing it, but like at the same time, she's working her ass off.
Yeah.
Kudos to you. You're absolutely nailing it. And I've got this like real kind of humble appreciation towards these people. And I don't look at them as like they're anybody other than a normal human. But one human I think that Helen hasn't ruined for me,
I think I know who this is.
Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I think she's such a warrior, though, too, given everything that's going on. For her to, like, continue and do performances where she can. Like, she just did one, what was
the
it called?
opening
Olympics?
ceremony of
Oh, yeah.
The Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the...
Doofus.
Yeah, right.
nothing.
Yeah,
beats
that's inspiring as.
Yeah. She's cool.
yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us on the podcast this week and for sharing those journeys, taking the little zoomies back to queer beginnings.
Zoomies.
Yeah, zoomies.
Thanks for having us.
No worries.
course.
It was awesome. To anyone who's listening, if you haven't heard Majellen's music, that's okay, because we're going to outro this episode with her song, Sand Dancing. And I suppose that's it from us.
I guess you better remember to.
Stay gay, motherfuckers. Woo!
Awesome.
I look into your eyes and remember that night dancing, conjuring memories of poverty.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Just Gay Stuff. Make sure to follow us at Just Gay Stuff Podcast on all your socials and write to us with your stories at justgaystuffpodcast@gmail.com.